So, what is somebody to do if they started a business and after only a few months they decided that they really don't have any interest in being a business owner? What's that business worth? And is it an opportunity? And why isn't it already somebody else's opportunity? Hey there, everyone. David Barnett here from davidcbarnett.com, the blog, site, YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iTunes podcast, where I talk about buying, selling, financing, and managing small businesses. And this week, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about a young woman who called me up who had started close to a year ago a small business walking dogs. Now, dog walking in a lot of metro urban areas is a pretty big business because people work long hours. They've got commutes, into downtown. They work all day. They come home, and quite frankly, Fido can't wait that long to go pee. So people, will pay someone to come by their home, take their pet, go for a walk, give the animals some exercise, let them do their business, etc. And of course, if I were a dog, I'd be bored sitting at home all day with nothing to do. And so obviously the temperament of the animal is probably a lot better, and it can be a very lucrative business. In fact, I've spoken with some people in this industry in places like greater New York City where they go and visit some pets more than once a day. So, it adds up. The revenue is there. One employee can walk many animals at a time. And so it's a profitable money-making business. So what then do we do about the case of this young woman that I spoke to? Because she had gotten into the business because she wanted to start a business and didn't realize how much work it was going to be to start a business like this. Because obviously when she started out, she went looking for customers. She was walking the animals on her own, very quickly found herself in a 7-day-a-week job. And after 5 or 6 months, did hire another person to do some of the dog walking, but now has just lost all of her enthusiasm and spirit for the business. And here are her words, not mine. She said that she's just too much of a millennial. She doesn't want the responsibility of having to be the person in charge who has to deal with all the problems and solve all the problems and make everyone happy. And so, not really an entrepreneur, not really a business owner in my books, but someone who has come to the realization pretty quickly that they don't want to run this business. So the question is, can this business be sold? And that was her question to me. She said, do I have something here that can be sold? And one of the fundamental questions that I always come back to when I'm looking at something that isn't quite a business, it might be a job, maybe the earnings are a little bit lower, so maybe it falls into that hobby category. You simply ask the question, if somebody were starting a business like this today, would it be worthwhile for them to start from your position or to start from scratch? And clearly, with one employee and a handful of clients, it does make sense for somebody to want to step into her shoes if their other alternative were to simply start this kind of business from scratch. So there is something there that someone can take advantage of, but there isn't a track record of earnings. There's not multiple years of sales data. There's not a bunch of tax returns. Certainly not something that anyone could show to a banker, for example. So what is this business worth to one of those people? And quite frankly, without a track record demonstrating the earnings over time, it's going to be hard for anyone to be willing to pay something for this business. But clearly, a person who is going to start a business would have an advantage if they bought this one instead. So my advice to her was simply, look at some kind of earnout for this. And what was funny is that I was literally having the conversation with her the day my earnout video went public on YouTube, which was last week. So that video basically shows how you can turn the future performance of a business into some kind of cash flow stream for a seller. Now, obviously, she wasn't very happy with that idea because she wants a fistful of cash, just like all sellers do. So, setting her example to the side for a moment, at the beginning of the video, I asked, why isn't this already somebody else's opportunity? And the reason why I asked that is because in my programs, Business Buyer Advantage, go to businessbuyeradvantage.com, take that course. It's 9.5 hours. It's the least expensive way to spend 9.5 hours with me learning how to buy a business. So in that program, and then in the follow-on program, which is becoming modified, which there is going to be a big announcement in June, I teach people that you want to get ahead of the marketplace when it comes to finding opportunities for businesses to buy. So if somebody were a graduate of my programs, and if they've been learning from me and they were in that industry, one of the things that they would already have been doing is getting into contact with people such as this young woman, so that she would already know who was interested in buying her business before she even made the decision that she didn't want to run it anymore. Because here's the problem. Her business is not going to be worth enough, and she's not going to be able to sell it on the terms that she wants for it to become worthwhile for her to go through the effort of trying to package, advertise, and sell the business. Because what's going to happen is this: either she's going to have to take money over a long period of time, which she doesn't want to do, or she's going to have to settle for some lump sum amount in the present. And because she's got such a short track record, her business is going to be discounted so much that we're going to start talking about like a few $1,000s. Well, it won't take long for her to realize that the effort to sell the business won't be worth that money. And so what'll happen is this: she'll just wind it up. She'll just tell the customers, thank you. As of this date, I'm going to close my doors. It's been a pleasure working with you. Goodbye. And all those clients that she's accumulated in that area will then scatter to the wind. Whereas if there had been another dog walking business in a neighboring county or the next town over that had been actively trying to grow through acquisition, they would have already known each other, and she would have known immediately, here's the person that's going to want to buy my business if I ever decide to sell. And they would be able to do a deal, whether it's a heavily discounted lump sum amount today or some kind of earn out. The most difficult thing in selling a business is bringing the buyer and seller together, most of the time. Anyway, that's it for me this week. Stay tuned. In June, I'm going to have the announcement for the new program to follow Business Buyer Advantage. The Business Buyer Advantage online course will be a prerequisite to that new program. It's going to be an ongoing group coaching program involving me several times a month, with all of you and with the buyers able to interact in a community to learn from and help out with each other. So it's going to be really cool. It's something a lot of you people have been asking for a long time. And in fact, my research started back in January. I started sending out a few questionnaires. I've gotten a lot of really valuable feedback from people, and it's all being taken into consideration in putting the new program together. Additionally, all of my books, all 7 books that are available on Kindle from Amazon, are now available as audiobooks. And I'm really happy that a lot of you guys have discovered this and have started downloading them. If you want to find them quickly and easily, just go to davidcbarnett.com. On the far right of the bar along the top, it says Amazon.com store. If you click on that tab, it's going to lead you over, quite literally, to a page which simply has a bunch of my books and then a bunch of books that I've recommended from other authors. And if you click on any of them, you'll lead right through the Amazon.com page. The audio version is available on iTunes, Amazon.com, as well as the other Amazon stores around the world, and on Audible. Audible is a subscription-based service from Amazon where you pay a monthly fee, and every month you get to download more books as part of that monthly fee. And so if you're interested in getting into audiobooks, just go click through to one of the books that I have that you're interested in owning and do the free trial membership of Audible. And the first book, my book, will end up being free for you. And then you can start getting into the world of audiobooks and start learning while you drive around or go jogging or what have you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to go over to davidcbarnett.com. Sign up for my email list if you're not already on the list. And we'll see you next week. Thanks.